What's up, guys? This is Shatner's Prodigy coming at you with a bit of a long upload today. I shortened it down a lot. Before I started tampering with it, the initial recording was like, I think 50 minutes long, like a full hour long. So yeah, you're going to appreciate my tampering later on. So we're moving into our first duel here against AC/DC. And you can see I'm repping the Pegasus avatar and the Fabled Quasar vs. the World sleeves that you see in my Fabled Quasar vs. DevPro series. And the reason I'm doing that is because I recently got a job doing data entry at an offshore medical clinic, which is a resume speak for I'm doing odd jobs around my mom's work. So I'm making around minimum wage, so I can afford to start putting out some more high quality videos, no more using 3 Dragon Ball Z books and a bagel to record deck profiles. The last one you saw, I used a kitchen knife set, which I guess is a bit more high-tech. And yeah, so I can also afford 10 bucks a month to just keep this going, which, I mean, I think it looks good. It lends some lends a bit of a trademark to my videos, and branding is always good. So here you see I pick up the Quasar, only going -2 in the process, so I'll take it. It's not very often I draw Soul Charge nowadays, so I'm happy when it happens. Here sums out Gears Yogger, doesn't use the effect. I would not have negated it anyways, because if he declares the effect, I'm just going to assume he has something to make a rank 4 play and just not bother with it. So he does make a rank 4 play and makes about the least lethal rank 4 play he could have in going into Mace Stroke. There was no... didn't go into Cast Out, didn't go into 101. He just went into Mace Stroke. I decided to let the Mace Stroke go through because... I mean, face-down defense position is probably the safest place for Quasar. There he can't be, you know, Book of Moon, he can't be Forbidden Lance, he can't have chains started on him to remove him from the field as chain like 2 or higher to make him miss timing. He's really safe there. He also can't be cast out, so I decided to leave him there. He shows me his hand. He has like fusion recovery and stuff in there, so I'm wondering what he's doing. And yeah, he scoops it up. And moving into our second duel here against Ahmed El Ruish, I guess. And here I'm using what's it called? 1-chan, I think it is, or Where Art Thou? I don't know which one. And and here I make a bit of a misplay actually. I should have discarded the Cerberus from my hand to special summon out the Nezuchi, and then go into another Reagan instead of going into Librarian and only getting 1 draw, but I just didn't see that play at the time. I was listening to an episode of Cutthroat Kitchen while I was recording this, and yeah. I mean, Cutthroat Kitchen is Cutthroat Kitchen. I mean, sometimes you misplays. So he special summons out Cyber Dragon, which is a good card. It's always been a good card, always will be a good card. Activates Black Whirlwind and summons out Steam the Cloak, which is a level 3 tuner, so I immediately assume he's going for Beals, because, I mean, if you have a level 3 tuner and and another 5 levels on board, I mean, what else are you going to go for? Void Ogre Dragon with cards in your hand? He doesn't do that. He special summons out Gale, tries to half my Quasar, and I negate it, because if he does half my Quasar, he can attack it over with Cyber Dragon, and that's not a good play. So I'm left with a Quasar and a Cerberus in my field. So he starts laughing, and I say, I have at least 5 ways of dealing with Beals. Which is true, I do have the Double D Synchro, I have, what else do I have? I have Mind Control, which can take control of it. And I also have, which, I mean, keep in mind, he only needs 8,000, I only need 8,000 damage to kill him, and I have 8,000 on board with Quasar. And so he summons out Blackwing Armed Wing, and he switches my guy to attack mode, which at first I was curious because now he can't attack over it. And there you see me doing lazy guy math. I am extraordinarily bad at math in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is why if I ever get into a situation where I'm dealing with, like, you know, 50s or 25s, I'll just subtract the monster's defense. I'll just subtract the attacking monster's attack, and then add the defending monster's defense or attack. And that essentially just takes all the math out of it. And this guy is he's a bit skeptical of the lazy guy math, but I don't blame him. You know, whenever you take shortcuts, people are going to question you, and I take tons of shortcuts. So here I'm trying to figure out what to do. I desynchro to special summon out these 2. Hope I draw okay off of that. I draw the desynchro, set that, and I go for Fabled Reagan again, and I draw into 1 day apiece. I'm trying to get this dang glow-up ball out of my hand because it's restricting my ability to go off. And I tell him my hand is pretty trash because I can't really do anything with it. One day a piece is just going to help him since I'm in a winning position. And Glow Bulb is really just clogging my hand. And this duel right here is the reason why this upload was so long. This guy was really chatty, and the part you see where the little line inside the chat box is blinking really fast is sped up like 8 times, while the rest is sped up 3 times. I did that just to shorten the video down to the length you see it at now. And I wanted to attack over Gale because it's going to create problems for me next turn, but I can't do that, so I'm forced to just sit here and let him stay. The reason why I didn't attack over his token is because I went to main phase 2 too quickly. I didn't realize that summoned a token. That's a huge misplay. Because here, if he had another monster, like if he had ripped a Shura, he could summon the Shura, get a, get a Kalute the Moonshadow to his hand, go for Armory Arm, and then just start beating my face in. Luckily, he doesn't play Armory Arm, I don't think. But he is able to make a rank 4 play here by searching out Bora the Spear. And Bora will just special summon itself out, and he'll go for the, number 30, maybe? I think number 30 is asking, well, number something. Zero Fine. And I think it's just Ice Princess Zero Fine, actually. Whatever, you know it. Whenever it's summoned, it needs 2... Yeah, Ice Beast Zero Fine. Whenever it's summoned, it negates the effects of all face-up cards on the field and gains 500 attack for each face-up card on the field. No, 300 attack. And there's 5 face-up cards on the field, so it gains 1500 attack, bringing it up to a grand total of 3500. So if he had gone into Armory Arm here, he could do 200 directly. No, he could do quite a bit of damage to me. And then I take 3300 from the, from the Shooting Star Dragon hitting the graveyard. So I'd be down to 650. And there you see another example of lazy guy math. I mean, I'm extraordinarily lazy. Here's something out Mistbird Colossalus. I debate going into Armory Arm here and getting in a ton of damage. I would have done like 5300. But that wouldn't have solved the problem of having Gale on board, which is really just creating more problems than it could ever solve. And so here I go for Armory Arm, make my guy 3300 and pass it back to him. He has nothing. I mean, it happens. I guess he's playing Brick City over there. So I special summon out Chawa, special summon Armory Arm, draw 2 cards. I decide to hold my Ayers Rock Sunrise because there's really nothing I can do. And I just start beating his face in, and I pass it back to him. So he draws, apparently he still has nothing. He's holding out for a Dark Armed or a BLS or something. I draw into Soul Charge, and I decide to just press my advantage by start getting rid of stuff. Maybe I should have gotten rid of Black Whirlwind, because Black Whirlwind makes the plays. But I decided to get rid of his back row just in case it was a Mirror Force or something, and he's down to 300 life points. I mill 3 in the end phase for Michael, and he says, "You're done." And I'm like, what? And he activates Dark Eruption, getting back Kalute. And this shows you why Black Whirlwind was limited for a long time. Because he's able to activate 2 Black Whirlwinds and just go completely off from this point forward. Now, I guess he's not playing the level 6 Blackwing guy that lets you normal summon and does 800 damage. But he gets 2 Gales to his hand, and he's able to bring my guys down to 1300 and 1150. Then he's going to go for Goyo. Now, here I have a bit of I'll call it. We'll call it a bit of an eh. Because he says both of them, so I think he means both Gales on the Reagan. And here I go a bit of a banter. I'm like, hey, beat me if you want to, but don't make me subtract 25 life points. Because that's just a hassle. So yeah, he attacks for 1500, and I just speed, and this is all sped up 8x because this guy plays around a lot with his move, and I'm, just so you know, I do some faulty math here, but I end up at 1300, and that's his field. And that's all that matters. So he does a bunch of stuff. I'm doing math. I suck at math. I'm honestly so terrible. It's not even funny. I'm like Asian Eyes levels bad at math. So yeah, he mills 3 in the end phase for Michael. I summon out Nizuchi with Ayers Rock Sunrise, and that random decrease in attack is just so clutch here. Because I have 6 beasts in my graveyard, and so his Gale's at 100 attack, and he's at 300 life points, so Chawa is able to get that sweet swing in for game. Not Chawa, I'm sorry. Nizuchi is able to get that sweet swinging for game. So here we go, that duel's done. I'm playing up against Viez94. And yeah, I open up pretty trash. I'm gonna say that right now. I can't really make a play, and so I pass, he draws, he puts like... I think he just sets 2 and then passes back to me. I'm like, this is my chance, I can make a play, I'm gonna make Quasar, attack over his face down, I don't have to fear anything, but no. This duel I got really bricked out. I took a trip to Brick City. It happens. I mean, you can't, it's unavoidable. You'll just get some hands you can't work with. Like, I have Desynchro with no Synchro monsters, I have Reagan with no discard outlets, I have Crust with no... I have a Crust with no Fables in the graveyard, and it's just really rough. So here he puts 4,000 damage on the board with his 1900 Reagan and his 2100 Wolf. And yeah, I'm gonna scoop it up next turn because I don't have anything really, and he has 4,000 damage on board for next turn. I can't make a play, so I just scoop it up. I would have drawn a Chawa next. I mean, realistically, it wouldn't have helped me, but whatevs. So next up, we're playing against Derpicus Maximus VII, I guess 7, or the 7th. If we're going by the French terms. And the duel I cut out was just another Lightsworn duel. Pretty, you know, I figured you guys see enough Lightsworn on this channel. It's basically the only non-Necros or Heroes deck that's played on DevPro, so you see that a lot on Fabled Quasar versus DevPro. And all the scrubs play it on Dueling Network, and I play a lot of scrubs because my rating is like 300. But whatever, here, Foolish Burial comes in clutch as I'm able to activate that Where Art Thou and add Chawa to my hand. And a bit of an interaction is Where Art Thou says take 2,000 damage in the end phase. So if you use 1 Day of Peace the same turn you use Where Art Thou and you don't normal summon the monster, you can still get that, you still don't take the damage. So I activate Pot of Greed here and draw 2 more cards. And I'm able to draw into some pretty solid cards, but I decided not to push my play any further because I really want to keep some cards in my hand to make a push next turn if he wiped my field. But he doesn't wipe my field, in the end I win. So yeah, sorry for the slow upload. As you saw, I recorded this at like 2 o'clock. But that third duel just dragged on way too long. Well, thanks for watching. This has been Shatner's Prodigy, signing out.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry.